Michael, thanks for joining us. The run that's kind of preceded this slightly sticky patch has been obviously fantastic. Performance has been there. Barnet now being viewed as a different team to maybe the start of the season, where you're perhaps more underdogs, is now an appreciation of the threat that we do pose. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think if you probably look at the way teams have set up against us in, say, the last 8-9 games compared to before that, I think teams will be setting up a lot different. Probably a little bit more wary of us, should I say. I think we have been carrying a bit more of an attacking threat, although we haven't converted the percentage of chances what we've created. We have been a big threat going forward, and I think you can recognise that in the way teams set up against us to try and counteract that. So that's something we have to learn with, something we have to get to grips with and figure out how to break teams down. Like I say, we managed to create the chances. We just need to be a little bit more clinical and hopefully get the results.
And it certainly feels like the expectations of supporters have been raised in the last few weeks, and probably since Rossi and Henry have had the chance to put their stamp on things. Is that something that you guys recognise in here, and is that fair?
Yeah, when you put yourself up in and around the playoffs, people are going to start expecting you to win more often than not. So it's not just the fans that expect that. It's Rossi and Henry expect it, and so do we as players. Considering we, as you said, a bit of a sticky patch, we're still right in there, in and around the playoff positions with a lot more points to play for, and sitting in a really good position coming into the final part of the league. So yeah, the wins haven't come as frequently as we would like over the last 4 or 5 games, but be it a combination of results going for us or picking up the odd draw here and there, we've managed to stay in and around it, and hopefully that sticky patch is gone starting on Saturday, and we get right back up to where we want to be.
And I know you guys don't like to look too far ahead, the kind of adage of taking it one game at a time, but with the playoffs being as close as they are, do you think, and as tight as they are, do you think it's something that's going to now probably go to the final weeks of the season?
It could do. It all depends on the teams who are in there at the minute. Can they sustain a good enough run to put a gap between them and the rest? As long as you can be in and around it, obviously you want to be at the top end of it, pushing for them automatic places if you can. But I think any team who are going into the last 2 or 3 games in and around the playoffs, I think they've got a right good chance. And you see it all the time. There's always a one comes from the pack, pretty much late on, who might not have been in the playoffs all season, but they sneak in the last two days of the season. So we're just trying to get as many points on the board as we can, stay as close to where we want to be as we can, and then hopefully when the final game comes, we'll be where we want to be.
And how are the players enjoying being in a battle for the playoffs? Last season it was kind of survival, we all knew that, but this season obviously there's a new ambition in sight. Yeah,
it's something different, something maybe some lads have never had before. It's certainly the pressure that you want to have as a player. You want to have that pressure of having to go out and win to get you up to the top end of the table, rather than trying to win to claw yourself out of a relegation battle. So yeah, it's nice. There's a good buzz about the place, and hopefully a win on Saturday will just fuel that buzz even more.
And finally, from a very kind of personal point of view, still not missed a minute of league action this season. You've been in the wars lately, but there must be a tremendous sense of satisfaction and pride for you that you're still doing it week in, week out.
Yeah, I hope you haven't cursed me now saying that. But no, it's something that I aimed to do when I came down and signed beginning of last season. I wanted to play every game. Don't think people are seeing it that way. I think fans and other people probably see a more experienced central defender coming down and thinking he's just going to play the odd game here and there. That was never my ambition when I first signed for the club. I didn't manage to play as many games as I liked last season, and then I worked hard through the summer and made sure that when I came back this season, that was going to be one of the main things I was going to do. I was going to get in the team, come that first game, and I was going to make sure I was going to stay in it. And luckily enough, through a combination of hard work and maybe a little bit of luck, I've managed to do that, and hopefully that'll continue right until the very last day of the season.
Brilliant, thank you, Michael.